Organics is often very misunderstood term. Organics means the product is clean, it's free from any harmful substances, whether it is chemical, artificial, something that you can trust is not going to do harm to your body. Very simply put, organic is that. So when we deal with an agricultural nation like Sri Lanka, where sometimes farmers tend to take shortcuts and may not use these agents, pesticides, fertilizers, fungicides, irresponsibly, it can become very dangerous. So this is why when in such an arena where you know that the use of these products are not controlled, not regulated, or perhaps very arbitrary and unscrupulous, it is important that people know what they consume. It's not necessary that you just consume only organic, but be aware of what you're consuming. And the safest bet then is to know and consume something that is trusted, that has credibility, that has certification, that says that there is no harmful contaminations along with what you're consuming. The original vision, I think, when I co-founded it with Charitha, our original vision was very simple. We wanted to have the tagline of Saaraketha explains it. Our tagline is transforming rural life. We wanted to create a business, a triple bottom line business, not just for the sake of profit. Yes, profit was an orientation, but we wanted to create a business that also impacted, while we pursued profit, impacted society, impacted environment in a positive manner. So, transforming rural life was we wanted to have a supply chain, not from day one. We never ever wanted to have our own plantation, have a very large estate, grow our products. That was not the vision. We wanted to do this in this age of Uber and Airbnb, where everything is outsourced. We wanted to be an asset-light company, but also foster, nurture entrepreneurship, catalyze other people also to pursue dreams as we pursued ours. Credible certification. First and foremost, a lot of people today claim organic status. We see it's becoming a fad now. We see there are mushrooming alternatives for organic. I think what is important is we must educate consumers to ask, how do you claim it is organic? What credibility is behind your product? So for Saaraketha, the first and fundamental thing we did was to pursue global standards of credible certification. So we are certified for the European market, for the US market, and we are certified by an internationally accredited independent certification body. So certification is not just a piece of paper that you're given. We are audited. Our production locations are audited. Our farmers are visited. They are audited on soil, on water, product, leaf. Samples are taken and tested in a laboratory for residue. If there is chemicals used in production, residues remain, either in the soil, in product, some residue is always present. So it's only once those conditions are satisfied that we receive certification. So that's the first process. Now we've gone a step beyond, where we are giving the consumer the power. We've just trialing a very special product called Tracified, which allows a consumer to scan a QR code on our product and be reported on the entire value chain of that product, from the farm it originated from with a GPS location, of the farm, the farmers, how it was harvested, when it was harvested, how did it travel, was it in cold storage, how was it stored, how did it get to you, all those details transparently in real time, And this technology is powered by blockchain. Blockchain is a tamper-proof technology of the modern era. So we give the consumer the power. It's not just us claiming or certification. You are able to verify, you are able to inform yourself. We have our own refrigerated trucks. Where reasonably possible, it's our refrigerated trucks, our own fleet of trucks that transport goods from supply chain locations and to retail locations or to export destinations when we take our product to the airport, etc. Sometimes logistics are not possible for us to manage by ourselves, then we outsource. Again, as far as possible, we maintain the cold chain in the fresh produce that we transport. So we work all around the country, the north, the south, the east, the west are production locations, including the center. We work with smallholders who are very strategically spread in locations which help us to mitigate climate risk as well as product diversification. So some products are grown in temperate climates like upcountry, some products are possible in low country. So we have created supply chains that mitigate our supply chain risk as well as climate risk to have these products come from. How do we track them? Through our own compliance mechanisms of our own field compliance staffs that visit, monitor, keep track of, and also the independent audits and certifications by third-party verification authorities, and simply by building a culture of trust with our farmers.
I was actually working with Prasanna with Saaraketha, and with him I was going all around to different locations in the country. I was a city girl, but then with him I traveled quite a lot, and then I saw how our rural farmers are and how they are working in agriculture. And one thing that kept coming out was the fact that the farmers do not want their kids to just be in farming. They want them to do something different because it wasn't really rewarding at the time. So, I started to think, what else can we do to support those people? So eco-agrotourism was an idea that popped up. So I did a little bit of research on that. And I thought, okay, why not start a different venture, which is set on the same principles of the triple bottom line that Prasanna was talking about. So then I got myself a Fulbright scholarship and went to Colorado State University in the US. Did a degree in Global Social Sustainable Enterprise, which is all about setting up a sustainable business. Then came back and set up Saraii Village. That's how it started. It was quite difficult to actually convince people about the idea. When I was in the States, in other countries, of course, the ecotourism or sustainable tourism was quite well known. But in Sri Lanka, there were not many people who were practicing ecotourism. And there was certain people who were calling their hotels eco, but then it was mostly greenwashing that was happening, not really thought through. So when I came to Sri Lanka and was trying to set up, we found there were quite a lot of obstacles at the start, because even our Tourism Development Authority didn't have a ecotourism classification. So to classify Saraii Village as an eco-resort was also challenging. Even to date, we don't have a classification as a green hotel. So from that, even when I tried to sell the idea of Saraii Village, travel agents, most of the traditional travel agents don't understand the concept, or they don't want to promote that. So I had to find niche players who would promote sustainable travel. So that was a little challenging, but I feel like it's shifting a little bit. And it also means a place to stay in Sanskrit. So we sort of thought that it really matched. It's by coincidence that it sounds a little like Saaraketha. People seem to think that it came through that, but it's actually not. It's a completely different idea. I love the beds. I love the beds because they are made out of discarded electricity poles, because in Sri Lanka we used to have the timber poles as for electricity, but then they took that out and they put concrete pillars. So now we have taken those timber poles and we made beds out of it, and our tables, all of that are made out of those pillars. So I love the fact that we upcycled it and we are making use of it. So Saraii is really different to most other hotels. We have a lot of community-based excursions, interactions. So you can go to a farmer's home, have a home-cooked meal with a local farmer. You get to interact with that family, and it's not just farmers. We work with fishermen. In the morning, you can go fishing with a local fisherman. They'll help you catch they'll teach you how to catch fish, and they'll cook it for you by the lake bank. So it's a very different food culture at Saraii. And then pottery makers, you can go to a potter's home and learn how to make pottery, or go to a Palmyra weaver's home. So many different home-based cottage industries are supported by Saraii, and discerning guests get to experience it. We want to minimize any chemical use at Saraii, so not just in the pool, anywhere at Saraii we try to minimize chemicals and plastic use. So the pool is a saltwater pool. There's a salt solution that is being put in place of chlorine. So it's much better for you, it's better for your skin. This is just our pilot project. The grand plan is to have similar setups in around the country and regionally. So basically what I want is for a customer, for a traveler to be able to have a sustainable trail around the country. Right now it's in Veeravilla, so another location could be in Arugambe or in Jaffna, but then all with the same eco concept.
We have a very sound family life in terms of how much time we spend with our son. There are times we have to compromise as well, where we are perhaps not as happy, but still we try and juggle that, and we've been thankfully able to find that space where Charitha supports me immensely in my business, and there are times I would chip in to help her in her business. So as a result, when we come home, we try and spend time at home.